Hello from Farland. I hope you are all well and your trains are running splendidly. In this continuing series, I've decided to discuss how to show off your model work to its best advantage in video. In previous videos, we've covered the curve radius, inclines, layout planning. Perhaps we can get into lighting in the future and other things of interest. But today, I want to talk about how to shoot your layout on video. If you're not subscribed, as I know most of you are not, please subscribe. Just click my logo below. If you like the video, please click the thumbs up symbol below. It doesn't do anything, but it does let me know that you liked it, and that feels good. Thanks. I know, it seems easy enough. Point your phone at your trains, and there you go. Not so fast, people. Anyone can do that, yes. Do you want memorable video clips? Do you want people to watch them a second time? Do you want people to come away feeling they have just seen something of quality, it's interesting, and it's unusual? Well, here are key considerations to keep in mind if you want superior video. 1. Get a tripod. Don't be holding it by hand and waving it all around. It looks awful, makes some people seasick, and they'll stop watching it immediately. Number 2, get a good tripod. Yes, even for your phone, if that is all you can afford. You can get inexpensive phone holders that go on tripods from Amazon or any number of other outlets. The next number 1 thing, which is number 3 on my list, figure out how low your camera lens has to be to capture video at a scale eye level. Use a figure in your scale to help you understand this key aspect. If you hold your camera up high looking down on it the way you see it most all the time, it's not very interesting. It's not very real. But if you get the camera down at track level and down where the center of the lens is at scale eye level, it becomes very interesting to see. We'll get into that down on my layout in a little bit. Number 4, use good lighting. In my case, the lighting in my train room is set between daylight or cold 5600 Kelvin and shade at about 6500 Kelvin. 6500 Kelvin is the equivalent to the color of light provided by an overcast, cloudy day, very slightly bluer than midday sun. If the lighting is too bright, it will wash out the image. There's a happy medium somewhere. If you wash out the image, you're going to lose definition, and the color of things in your image will not look right. You can correct the color with good video editing software in many cases, but it's better to shoot in good light. And don't make everything warm. Once you get control of your video camera's ability to affect the light, everything is not warm. I know, it looks pleasing. The human eye seems to like yellow light. Maybe it's because of all those candles that were burned in our history. Resist the temptation. When you're choosing lamps, look at the temperature ratings on the box when you buy them. Take a look at this chart. It shows you the range of lighting temperatures. Shadows. Try to avoid them. Shadows are only geometrically correct when the light comes from a single source, like the sun, not from 10 different light bulbs in your train room. This is why my lighting is overhead, to try to minimize shadows. Shoot your trains like you're out along the tracks, shooting video of the real thing. Look at the way the pros frame trains. Try to emulate the same angles and telephoto techniques they use. Please don't get discouraged. It does take practice. I am still certainly learning. Let's go down to my layout and practice what I've been saying. okay angle, I suppose, but let's make it better. If I was standing on the beach, that's about where I'd be. Now that's a pretty good viewing angle. Let me find a figure that's appropriate, and we'll use them as a judge of height. Roughly in the middle of the frame. So this is my figure. Oops. This is my scale. If you're HO, then you need HO figures that are actually HO scale. Although, honestly, the height of people varies all over the place. So there's no one perfect height for a certain scale. We'll get some tweezers. We'll stand him in the sand. While the train is coming around, one thing I really like to do with sound, I'm going to share this with you. One of the really nice effects, I think, with sound is to have the locomotive go past your camera with the sound on, with the motor running, the engine running, and then without. Then what you do is you overlay it, because when you actually hear a real locomotive go past, you hear the sound of the locomotive and it fades almost away, and mostly what you hear at that point is the sound of the rolling stock on the rails, and that's the way you hear them, the real thing. So having the engine go past, having the locomotive go past, and hearing the locomotive louder than the train for the whole duration is not normal, is not natural. So the way I do it to achieve the sounds that I do on certain clips is I have the locomotive go past with its sound on, and then I have it go past with its sound off. And I combine the two soundtracks for a more realistic sound. I'm going to share this with you.